any other actions that is not in conformity with our party doctrine and philosophy. So we say to you, remain kind, remain respectful of the rule of law until we wait for the official decision of the National Election Commission of our country. And we want to assure the public and our international friends, 12 years we were in this country in a capacity of opposition. What we did was to protect. Make no mistake, we had the capacity to rob up the peace of this country to the extent that our people were killed, to the extent we were shot at plane, blank bullet, to the extent that we went to prison here. We did not at no point in time chose our ambition over the state and the peace of this country. What we did, we sacrificed our ambition for the peace of this country. And the person who did that was the president, the current president, Ambassador John Manawiya. He never one day led any demonstration in his capacity as a political leader. I want to say to you, young people, partisans across the land, remain kind. They are trying to provoke you. What we will not accept anymore is to think that how can you have elections? People jump into the street and begin to threaten our democracy, and you think we will go and we will sit as spectators? No. If no one will do that, the Youth League on our watch will protect the democracy of this country. I want to say to you the reason we call so that you cannot be surprised. And don't think because I serve as a mayor, we will be on the front burner. We will lead our people that we led them before. We will be there. Any day that will be announced here by anyone, we want to say to you, similar day will be announced by us. And whatsoever you are, we will also be there and we'll meet in flesh and blood. So as Liberians, and to see exactly whether you got the capacity to threaten our peace. Thank you very much. So, any other actions that is not in conformity with our party doctrine and philosophy. So we say to you, remain kind, remain respectful of the rule of law until we wait for the official decision of the National Election Commission of our country. And we want to assure the public and our international friends, 12 years we were in this country in a capacity of opposition. What we did was to protect. Make no mistake, we had the capacity to rob up the peace of this country to the extent that our people were killed, to the extent we were shot at plane, blank bullet, to the extent that we went to prison here. We did not at no point in time chose our ambition over the state and the peace of this country. What we did, we sacrificed our ambition for the peace of this country. And the person who did that was the president, the current president, Ambassador John Manneh Weah. He never one day led any demonstration in his capacity as a political leader. I want to say to you, young people, partisans across the land, remain kind. They are trying to provoke you. What we will not accept anymore is to think that how can you have elections? People jump into the street and begin to threaten our democracy, and you think we will go and we will sit as spectators? No. If no one will do that, the Youth League under our watch will protect the democracy of this country. I want to say to you, the reason we call so that you cannot be surprised. And don't think because I serve as a mayor, we will be on the front burner. We will lead our people like we led them before. We will be there. Any day that will be announced here by anyone, we want to say to you, similar day will be announced by us. And whatsoever you are, we will also be there and we'll meet in flesh and blood. So as Liberians, and to see exactly whether you got the capacity to threaten our peace. Thank you very much.
In a few days, our country will be 174 years old. Over that time, we have had some successes and firsts that we should be most proud of. To name a few, the first African to graduate from Harvard University, the first elected female president in Africa, the first and only African female to head the United Nations General Assembly, the first West African to publish a book in English, a leader in the formation of the regional bodies to include the Organization of African Unity, or OAU, now the African Union, or AU, the Economic Community of West African States, or ECOWAS, and the Mano River Union, or MRU, and the list goes on and on. We should be proud, and I congratulate us Liberians for our contributions and endurance over the last 174 years. Unfortunately, and despite our resilience, tenacity, and hard work, the conditions Liberians are living through do not reflect the age of our country. We have not managed ourselves and our resources as well as we could. We have not been as accountable to each other as we could. We have not invested as we should in building strong human and institutional capacities. And of course, we have not invested in improving systems and processes for continued democratic governance and guaranteeing Liberia remains an independent and inclusively developed nation. As a result, too many Liberians are very poor. Common and treatable illnesses continue to kill too many of our women and children. We are losing too many to the inadequacies and lapses of a broken system every day. May we now have a moment of silence for the many who have lost their lives to COVID and the recent ship that sunk on its way to Maryland. As we observe 174 years, the reality of the challenges faced by our people is clear. The moral compass of our society is broken. Too many of our young people are unemployed, and for some are unemployable. The cost of living is unbearable, forcing too many proud Liberians to become beggars. Corruption is pervasive. In distributing the nation's wealth, a few have continued to receive more than they need, while the many who desperately need more have continued to be given too little. Liberia is experiencing the worst economic conditions in a decade, with continued dismal performance in the key macroeconomic indicators, such as real gross domestic product, or GDP. Unemployment and inflation all continue to be unacceptable. For example, according to the International Monetary Fund, in 2019 and 2020, real GDP recorded negative growth of 2.5% and 3% respectively. Of course, we can blame the COVID-19 pandemic, but mismanagement, lack of accountability, poor planning, and corruption have continued to haunt the administration of our government. Some of our leaders continue to invest themselves in dividing Liberians, mainly along the line of tribe, religion, gender, and political association. Meanwhile, across all Liberian tribes, religions, and political parties, the living standards have continued to worsen. According to the World Bank's latest statistics, Liberia's 2020 real GDP per capita, which measures living standard, is the lowest it has been in a decade. In the United Nations Development Program Human Development Index report, Liberia was ranked 175 out of 189 countries in 2019. Things are bad for everybody, and it is only getting worse. Unemployment is high. Annual inflation is averaging over 20% in the last 3 years, seriously reducing the purchasing power of Liberians, particularly those who cannot afford it. In April of 2021, the Central Bank of Liberia released its monthly economic review, which indicates that Liberian dollars in circulation is 22.6 billion. Out of this amount, 20.8 billion, or 92%, represents currency outside the banks. There is only one logical explanation for this. People do not trust the banking system. Confidence is low. This is the price we have to pay when we politicize the banking system and corrupt it into systemic and other administrative failures. These failings, combined with non-performing loans of 26.9%, pose a high risk to the stability of the nation's financial sector. God has blessed Liberia with an abundance of natural wealth. Yet, at 174 years, we continue to beg for budgetary support, including from nations far less endowed than we are, and whose public officials and legislators are paid way less than ours. We are so rich, and yet we are so poor. Too many are suffering, with more than half of our population living on less than $1.25 a day. At least 7 out of every 10 Liberians in urban areas lack access to improved water, improved sanitation, sufficient living space, or housing durability. At 174 years, our infant mortality rate is about 84.6%, which means out of every 1,000 newborn Liberian, 846 will probably die before they reach 5 years old. At 174 years, only 1.3% of Liberians living in rural areas and 34% in urban areas have access to electricity. At 174 years, our nation still cannot feed itself. Somewhere between the Declaration of Independence and today, somewhere between the Declaration of Independence and today, we have lost our way. I know we do not need these grim statistics from the International Monetary Fund, World Bank, and other international institutions to prove this point. Too many Liberians are actually living it every day in the worsening conditions of finding food, finding jobs, caring for their families, paying rent, paying school fees, paying hospital bills, and keeping a roof over their heads. At 174 years, Liberia is a difficult place. Regardless of who we prefer to blame, the truth is that we are all in serious trouble. At 174 years, Liberia does not need some of us. Our country needs all of us. At 174 years, our country does not need to settle more ethnic and political scores. It needs all of us to work together to achieve higher national goals. At 174, Liberia is too old to have hospitals with all the essential medicines and diagnostic equipment, while officials of our government with the responsibility to correct this are themselves seeking treatment in neighboring countries or farther abroad. If the government cannot fix the hospitals that the people they serve will go to when they are sick, no officials of government ought to seek medical checkups or treatment in a foreign hospital at government's expense. Therefore, fix the hospitals or use it as is. At 174, Liberia is too old to have its schools offering inferior and substandard education to our children. If the government cannot provide for the improvements of schools, then no official of the Liberian government ought to send their children to attend schools abroad. So fix the schools.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, can you guys hear me? Hello there. Can you guys hear me? Hello there. Yes. You guys hear me? All right, I'm sure you guys can hear me here. So thank you guys so much for the opportunity. This is my first time using this for a very long time. So I'd like to say good evening to every one of you guys, and thank you so much for joining me here. Let me see what I can do here. Okay. Let's see here. All right. So thank you guys so much for joining me here. Again, welcome to the show. This is J Randy here. And it's always a pleasure to have you guys here, always and all the time. So thank you guys so much. We have made it to another week, and we are into the month of August. We are making progress, and I believe in the next 2 weeks, August will be gone, and we'll be going into September. Those of you who kids started school this week, well, good luck with that. Our will be starting right after the Labor Day holiday, and we'll be back in it again. That's something that we do all the time. So thank you so much for joining me here. I have a very long list here today, and these are things we'll be going through here. But before we do, I have a few announcements to make. The equipment we purchased, I am about to send it to Liberia. All right, I am about to send it to Liberia, but the cost is very, very high. DHS is very, very expensive, and I'm going to be going to Pennsylvania tomorrow to see what I can mail it there. If they cost the same, I will have no choice but to mail it. And I think the three are, how do you call it? Let me get that for you guys here. So this is the DHS package here. So I got a sample here today, as you can see here. I don't know if you guys can see this here, but it's crazy. The price is crazy. Crazy price. There you go. UPS $299, FedEx $258, and DHL $219. So I am going to shoot for the $219.85. That's the estimated price I got today. I need to send that because once they get on the ground, we're going to have our own broadcast during the evening. And Mr. Roger will be in Liberia in the evening broadcasting from his home. And I will be here, and you guys will also be here. And I'm going to use my software, like what I'm using now. And he's going to log into that. And then he will be carrying out the show in the evening. So that means we will have show in the morning on the radio station, and then in the evening when I'm live, he will be live, and we will be having the same conversation. So that's the equipment that I'm going to send to him. Hopefully by tomorrow, I should mail it, so I'll be heading down to PA to see what I can get it on that side. If the price remains the same, we'll have to pay it to go because we don't have much time. And I'd like to thank everyone who contributed to the cash out to get this thing on the ground rolling. We already got the phone on the ground. We already taken care of our expensive. This is the second one and stuff like that. And the phone, we have to keep putting money on the phone, but I'm not going to be coming to you guys to put money on that phone. I can guarantee you guys right now. I will take the initiative to put money on that phone. I'm not going to ask you guys. All right. I think you guys are doing very well, and I want to appreciate you guys for that. All I ask continuously is for you guys to appear on all shows and make sure that you keep promoting the name of Mr. Cummings. Yes, keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing it because Liberia is getting rotten. Liberia is getting spoiled. Liberia, under this president, is not going anywhere. You know it, and I know it. I'm in this thing. Every morning I'm getting up. Every evening I'm getting up. Wherever I am, God give me life. I always try to do the best. We all together need to fight the fight here. It's not easy. Kids are getting beaten all the time. So I just want to let you guys know. Um, I, yes. So I'm not going to delay here, but let's start the show here right now. All right. So I'm going to bring a photo here, and I said, Vivian, I know you're here. So I just want to show you something here quick. All right. So this kid here, got his photo there, and let me bring the other guy here. Let me bring the other guy here, and I'm sure you guys know this guy here. Okay. So this guy you see right here, this board is the board I always call on the morning show. Sis Vivian and everyone, I don't know where you Montreal is here. When you listen to the Hot Morning Live with the red meat, this kid here is the one they call the Roland McLean. When he can't say Randall McLean, he got a soft voice. Yeah, so as you can see right here, he got brutalized by this man order. All right, on the man order. So the kid went in front of the city hall to protest so that Jefferson Koji can be audited. So Jefferson Koji authorized his men to beat this young man here, to beat this young man. Let me see why I can show you the picture here, right? Let me see why I can show you the picture here of the young man. I'm trying to do the best I can here. Let me see here. Maybe if I put it in 3 here. All right, let's see. Maybe I should remove myself. Let me remove myself. All right, let me try to remove myself so that you guys can see the kid, that have been beating here. And we're not doing this thing just for education. Here, so I have to get back up here, and then we'll just keep it as this. Yes. So I'm sure you guys can hear me now, right? You guys can hear me now. Hear me, so I have to get back up here. Yeah. So then, you guys can hear me now. Okay. So there go the kids right here. All right. This kid always call on the show. He got a soft voice. His name is Randall McLean. He always call Red Meat. Yes, keep on doing what you're doing. These people here, Jefferson Koji went and authorized his men to beat this boy, beat him unmercifully. Yes, beat him unmercifully. You see all the blood here. I got the photo today, and this morning I announced it. Jefferson Koji is supposed to be in Rhode Island tomorrow at I think a public high school. He'll be speaking there in the afternoon. I have made contact with few people, and I understand that Mr. Zawe, but Zawe live in that area, and he too, I'm understanding that, or I have been told that he too will carry his support over there. So it's going to be a collaboration. It has nothing to do with the political party. Yes. Support over there. Yeah, it has nothing to do with whether you belong to the CPP, whether you belong to any other party. They are going there tomorrow around 5 p.m. Eastern time to protest against Jefferson Koji. They can't keep doing this thing to these young children. These young children belong in our country. They must be given the opportunity. They were in the opposition. You got their video. We have the video here. They cannot keep infringing on the right of the young children. The children want justice. They believe that the democracy must be strong, and in order for it to be strong, they must utilize everything that the democracy got to offer to our country. When we were growing up, we were not opportune to get involved in what the case are now giving us an opportunity. And it's nobody business to stop the case here. So this is what we are. The young man got brutalized. I'm trying to get in touch with one of my buddy. That is the two that always on the show in the morning. I'm trying to get in touch with them to see whether I can talk to him. This photo has been posted by important Liberians who are on Facebook. I don't know whether Spoon showed this thing to you guys today or any other network, but I just decided to bring it out here. This kid is so into making sure that Mr. Cummings' vision is on the ground. And here he is now being brutalized here. So I just thought to share this with you guys, and I look forward to your comment and stuff like that. So he's in America here. He's in America here. If anybody watching, I hope he get to see what he had done. And these are images that need to be shown to the very people that he came to visit here that don't engage in such a nefarious and evil behavior, all because somebody speak the truth. All because somebody speak the truth. So I will give you guys update as I engage my body on the ground to see how well the kids are doing. Now you see the flesh here with the blood, right? You know that he said it before. So let's go back to that same video. He said there will be flesh and blood. So he's actually living up to his promise he made. So let's go back to him. Let us go back to him and get to see him again. So I'm just going to remove his photo from here. And let's go back to him. He once said that they would do everything as long as it would take flesh and blood. He's going to do it, right? He said it before, and I think he's living up to his words now. So let's go back to him. and see what he said before. All right. So there he is. All right. There he is. So let's play this here for you guys so you guys can hear it.
I'm always say to you, demonstrate democracy in comparative democracy. In democracy, when many of this country can have an opportunity to freely resist, irrespective of their separate actions. And I would think that this position of the coalition of the Democratic Change held by Mobake Molu, our illustrious chairperson, will officially be speaking right after that position. So I want to say to you, we are respectful of democracy. But what prompted the National Executive Committee of the Youth League to have an executive committee meeting was to see the wave of things that seems to threaten the peace and democracy of our country. I want to say to you officially, make no mistake that because we bear certain title or we occupy certain space in government and you think that position has taken away from us our true identity. We want to officially announce to the world and the international community that what we fought for, we will not sit here as spectators and watch it come on an attack. But those friends who believe that nothing good can ever happen on our watch. We want to say moving forward, when there is any core demonstration, as lawmakers can lead, we want to say in my official capacity, whether you call me mayor or you call me youth chairperson, we want to assure the public and international community we will be protectors of our democracy. We will be on the scene also. We will lead such forces also. Never again, and let me say this in a lot of words, never again such mistaken incident will occur and you think that we will sit and somebody in utopia believing that because the love of this country and you think that you have monopoly in distributing fears and panic in the people. No, that is not possible unless we are not in this corridor. We have not been moved. I want to say thank you for the privilege given to me by the National Youth League for asking me to communicate this view. So two decisions. The first decision to let the world know that whatsoever decision will be announced, and because that is the official body that got the responsibility to preside over electoral matters in our country. After their communication, the party will state its official decision and an official position. What we say to you, young people, we want for you
live up to his promise. Yes. So there go the man there. He promised what he was going to do, and he eventually did it to the young man and beat the young man up. So this is the situation we are faced with today in our country. So we just got to keep doing what we're doing. I know we got a long way to go, but the sacrifices should start now. Do not give up. If these guys are giving the second chance, they're going to do more than what they're doing in our country. They are not delivering any benefit for the people, and they are not ashamed in saying it. And now they are attacking them and beating our people. I mean, this is no joke. This is no fun. This is no myth or disinformation. It is all reality. And I don't want you to be in doubt about it. I want you to believe these things. It's happening in the country. The report that just came out from the Department of State, the government is so corrupt that investors are afraid to come to the country. So they are creating violence that I see as corrupt violence, financial violence against the people who are citizens, our brothers and sisters in the country. They are also creating a financial, emotional corruption that is preventing the people from coming to the country to do business. And now they are intimidating and beating on our people. So in every area, and that report, I'm going to do a PowerPoint slide on that report. We will look at the key indicators that the U.S. Embassy had identified and gave to the U.S. the U.S. Embassy had identified and sent to the U.S. State Department and came up with that report. We will break it down. This government got no reason. The U.S. Embassy in the country is laughing with them, but they are giving all their negative report to the State Department, and the State Department is publishing it. This is why they don't understand. The people laugh with them, but this is why they don't understand. Yes, this is what they don't understand. And the people laugh with them, but they are messing with them every other time. Yes, they are messing with them every other time. So I just want to make this straight. Yes, I want you guys to understand this, that the government of George Weah is doing absolutely nothing in our country. So let's move to the next phase here, because these guys, this particular man, he is very, very evil. He means no well for the country, beating on young people who differ with him. Yes, as you can see here, he beating on young people. This man right here, he beat on the young people. He's in Rhode Island, or he's expected to be in Rhode Island tomorrow. And the people of Rhode Island, Liberians, are going to be protesting. Yes, they will be protesting against him tomorrow. So he's not going to have a good day over there, I can tell you that one. Yes, he's not going to have a good day, and nobody should give them any time to have a good day here. Yes, all right? Nobody should give them any opportunity to have a good day. Yes, when they treat our people back there and they come here, we should not give them that opportunity to enjoy here. We should protest against them. Wherever they are, go there and make noise. This particular video here, I have sent it to Rhode Island. Those guys are planning to play that thing on the PA system, the last speaker tomorrow. And I hope they will live up to their standard, because wherever he are, they're going to be outside of that building, playing the particular video here. They're going to use the audio part of it and play it loud so that he can hear himself, that the blood and flesh that he's talking about, so that the people can get to hear it. Yes. All right. The people can get to hear it, and they will hear it. Yes, they will hear it, because we will not tolerate and we will not allow these guys to come to where we are, and they in Liberia are not giving the people the opportunity to do what it takes, but to come and do what they believe are things they should do to the people. So let's get rid of him here. So just so you know, you the man picture right here. All right, this is the man right here. This man here, you need to take a good look at him. He's going to be in Rhode Island tomorrow, and this is the man. that the people are going to protest against. He's in a country here. He's in a great country, the United States. We will not give him any chance. We will protest against him. We'll make sure that he understands that you cannot just take your personal and emotional feeling and cause trouble. Bazawa is going there tomorrow. Bazawa is bringing a group of people. There are many people that already stopped him, according to what I heard, and they are making every effort that he shouldn't meet any top government official from the state of Rhode Island or within the Rhode Island state government. They are doing everything possible to make sure that this guy who doesn't have respect for any Liberian in our country because he dislikes people exercising their freedom of speech, he dislikes them. So we are doing everything possible. Yes, the girls that in our state, they have already printed their banner. Yes, they already printed their banner. Let me see where I can find some of the banner here, right? So let me play a video while he's talking that he crap. Let me see what we can get here so you can see it. Yeah, we have made few contacts, and let me pull him back up here so you can listen to him. Let me go find that video there. All right, let's listen to him.
Why we say to you, young people, we want for you to be kind. And we want for you to remain party discipline. We want for you to not jump into any other actions that is not in conformity with our party doctrine and philosophy. So we say to you, remain kind, remain respectful of the rule of law until we wait for the official decision of the National Election Commission of our country. And we want to assure the public and our international friends, 12 years we were in this country in a capacity of opposition. What we did was to protect. It's a mistake. We had the capacity to rob up the peace of this country to the extent that our people were killed, to the extent we were shot at plane, point bullet, to the extent that we went to prison here. We did not at no point in time chose our ambition over the state and the peace of this country. What we did, we sacrificed our ambition for the peace of this country. And the person who did that was the president, the current president, Ambassador John Manneh Weah. He never one day led any demonstration in his capacity as political leader. We want to say to you, young people, partisans across the land, remain kind. They are trying to provoke you. What we will not accept anymore is to think that how can you have an election, people jump into the streets and begin to threaten our democracy, and you think we will go and we will sit as spectators? No. If no one will do that, the Youth League under our watch will protect the democracy of this country. We want to say to you, the reason we call so that you cannot be surprised. I don't think because I serve as a mayor, we will be on the front burner. We will lead our people that will lead them before. We will be there. Any day that will be announced here by anyone, we want to say to you, similar day will be announced by us. And whatsoever you are, we will also be there. And we'll meet in flesh and blood so as Liberians and to see exactly whether you got the capacity to protect our peace. Thank you very much.
Okay. All right. So let me just show you guys a few things here that's going to be happening tomorrow in Rhode Island. As you can see here, let me just take myself out of here. So tomorrow in Rhode Island, you're going to have, these are the banners here. Let me see where I can get them here. In fact, let me just move a picture from here so you can see it bigger. So as you can see here, these are some of the images that you guys are going to see in Rhode Island. Mayor Jefferson Koji, you hate freedom of speech, all right? So these are things that will be displayed. These things were printed this evening. So you're going to see them over there, yes. These things were printed this evening. So he's coming, he's going to be there unless he doesn't show up. But we have been guaranteed that these flyers will be out there tomorrow as he arrives, and as he continues to speak, people will be out there and then they will be playing. So I would just want to say a big thank you to the crew in Rhode Island, and they're going to be waiting for him tomorrow. Yes, they will be waiting for him tomorrow when he gets over there. So he's not going to have a good day. Yes, he's not going to have a good day. I can guarantee you that one. He is not going to have a good day. Yes, he will not have a good day over there, folks. Not going to have a good day. Yes, we will not allow him, yes, to have a good day over there. We will drive him all that place. We will make sure that he understands that what he is doing to the young people over there, why it is true that we're not on our ground, we will do everything possible to make sure that he hear from us. Yes, he will hear from us here. So I want to say a big thank you to Pazawe. Pazawe will be down there too. Yeah, Paz Gabriel Zawe will be down there to carry all his footage. He carry his group there. Yes, yes. All right. No, I won't be there tomorrow. I won't be there. That's in Rhode Island. Our group will be coming to George Weah. We're waiting for George Weah. We are waiting for George Weah. This is just the tip of the iceberg, Elder Bigayu. Yeah, this is just the tip of the iceberg. We are waiting for George Weah. George Weah will be there. We'll be there in full. We will be there in full. When you come to George Weah, we'll be there in full. We will be there in full. So there go the stuff here. This is what we're going to be doing tomorrow. All right. I already spoken to the people down there. They are getting ready for them. Yes, they are getting ready for them. So be on your guy. They want to be there tomorrow. Yes, they will be there tomorrow. And let me say this, guys. Wherever the guys show themselves, you got to also show yourself. When they go to Europe, you got to protest. They go to any African country, you got to make the contact. Make them to feel uncomfortable when they come here, because they are not making our people to feel comfortable back home. We should not allow them to come here to feel comfortable here, because they don't deserve it. They don't deserve it. If they treat the people good over there, they come here, we welcome them here. We welcome them in our homes. We welcome them on the street. If they treating our people bad over there, they come here, we should let them know that the reason we are on the side is because we left that place for a better life. And they cannot be treating people bad over there and come over here. So make no mistake. Let us be on their back. All right? Let us be on their back. So that is the announcement there for Mr. or how they call it, for Mr. Koji. So we look forward to that tomorrow. Yes, we'll be looking forward to that tomorrow. And we want to say big thank you to all those in Rhode Island who are doing the best they can over there. All right? Now, moving down the horn here. Did you guys see the headlines today? The headline from the government. The government said the government did not participate in any arson incident that took place overnight, almost 24 hours now, to the newly elected Unity Party chairman. The Minister of Information said the government of Liberia had nothing to do with the arson. But the question here is, how did the government of Liberia manage to know that arson? Or some people say arson. How did they manage to know? Because normally, people will investigate fire incident. People will start to investigate a fire incident, and then depending on the data they're collecting, then they will start to think specifically whether it was an arson attack or something else. So how did the government manage to know from the Minister of Information to say, oh, there were no arson attack, or the government did not participate in any arson attack? Why? Why are they saying that? Do they know more than what we know? Because you imagine that they will come out and say the overnight fire incident, the government is being accused by the opposition. We know nothing about that. But what we are doing is to be able to call on experts from abroad, maybe from Ghana, Nigeria, to come and do an investigation to determine the cause of the fire incident. You live in Europe, we in America here. You live in Africa, advanced, countries that are making progress. People don't just show up. The firefighter do not show up and immediately say, this is an arson fire. No, they will have to investigate to determine whether that fire was caused by some type of accident, because there are three things that causes fire. Cooking, you leave something on the stove, a cook, overcook, and start to burn. That is around, I think, 58 point something or 52 point something percent. The second one is heated material. Yes, you get a heated material, something just get hot, and then it start to burn. That's the second stuff there. The third is electrical malfunction. Those are the three major things that causes home or resident fire. Now, it's something that happened. We don't know. But what we do know, we watch video out there where people give you different account of what happened, but the government need to come and put things into context, right? So when you have the Minister of Information coming up today and saying to us, hey, we got nothing to do with the arson. How do you know that it's arson when you are not conducting an inspection, when you are not conducting anything? You see, sometimes the way the government talk, they think people can pay attention to what they say. But we are paying attention. So the question here now is, it's like somebody said, I mean, hey, you didn't see the thing yet, but I might know the thing we're talking about that the man stole it. Why are you pointing the man out like that? It's the same thing that Maggie said. Even if we steal, we'll pay something here, right? So he's saying that we did not cause the arson. How you manage to know? It's a lack of professionalism and better way to communicate? Or are they speaking with false guilt? Are they speaking with false guilt that they know they did something? So I'll be very interested, and I want you to be interested in that too. Yes. Don't you think you need to be interested in that? Yes. You know, somebody admitting to something that you not even imagine at this point it should be. Because Send the Fire told people who listen to all the witness account. We don't know what happened, but what we do know is the man's entire compound got burned down. So if the government Minister of Information can come out and tell you, say, oh, you know why? Let me say this to you guys. We had nothing to do with that. And, you know, we did not cause that arson. It's not us that caused that arson. I would be very, very concerned. I would be concerned when he made such a comment like that. So with that being said, let's go to the video and listen to the gentleman whom got impacted. I wrote a little piece today on behalf of the independent supporter of Mr. Cummings. We extended our sorry, to him and his family, and wish his son that is in the hospital recuperating. We wish him all our prayers, and we said it came from the independent supporters of Mr. Cummings. So at least they can get to know that politically we can differ with each other. However, when tragedy tries to hit us, we want everybody to be in good health so that we can have a better political debate. I have learned that the president up to now hasn't come out to even say, I'm sorry, or we are sorry to this man. But you know what? We're not waiting for him. He's a man that don't have no heart. He's very evil. He's very wicked. So we're doing what we're supposed to do in Jesus' name, and we're making progress. But the people of Liberia are seeing it every day. And I don't think they're going to make any mistake. I don't think so. But we'll wait and see. In the meantime, we will continue to inform the Liberian people about what are the right things, the right decision to make. We are making progress. So let us listen to Reverend Luther Tarpet. All right. Let us listen to his account of the story. And we're going to break things down for you. All right. So let us listen to him and make progress here. Bringing him on board right now. Okay. Right. So there you go. There you have it there. So let's move on with the audio here. He seems like a man who is very broken, but he's a strong man. And let's just take the political sentiment out of this and listen to how the man is feeling today. You lose your whole home, everything you ever worked for. Everything you ever worked for. Get with honor 5, 10, or maybe on an hour, everything just go away. In Liberia, there's nothing their home insurance. I don't know. There's nothing the fire extinguisher that people got in their home. And they're happy. So let's listen to him, folks.
And I know how you feel right now. the public is concerned. They woke up with the news about your house being burned, your vehicle being burned. Tell us your experience last night.
It's a very, very sad experience. Around 1 o'clock in the morning, as I was about to go indoor and call my nephew to come and do something for me, and suddenly he saw the fire, which apparently started from the garage. He gutted my vehicle first, and then went to the living room, and we were all very desperately confused, and we call immediately. I asked them to go in and get my kids. So 2 of them came out first, and then the other one was in the strange room. He doesn't usually sleep there, but he, for that night he went there, and so when we finally found out that he wasn't there, we had to brave the storm and find a way to call his attention. So in the process, when he woke up from bed about 1:30 a.m., he got very confused, and in his fear, he tried his best to crawl under the falling ceilings and all of that. Luckily, then, by God's grace, he was able to get out. And as soon as he got out, the ceiling caged in, and the vehicle caught fire. It was like we were so desperately confused. But I'm very thankful to the neighbors who came to our aid in the midst of our perplexity. They came and tried their best to contain the fire. But from all indication, the fire was raging and could not be contained at all. And so the neighbors gave up. Almost about 300 people were drinking water from the other side. They were bringing sand, they were bringing a lot of things. And so I'm deeply grateful for the communal concern.
What's your source of power? Do you have a generator? Are you on the LSC?
Very usually we have LSC, but our community have been without LSC for pretty close to 2 months now. So I have a solar panel, which is on that house, but it all burned down. I also have a diesel generator. So in the absence of the LSC, we interchangeably use the solar panel and the diesel. And so I can't really tell where the fire came from, but it came precisely from the garage. It got to the car first, and then advanced to the living room.
Is that where you have the generator?
Way on the other side.
Was it on last night?
It wasn't on when the fire was there.
Was it on last night?
I can't know for sure. I can't say for sure, but from all indication where it started, in fact, the neighbors were the one who saw the fire and alarmed us first. And they jumped over the fence to come to our rescue. So I can't say where it came from. But from here you can see that it came from the garage and advanced to the living room and so forth. So I have about 8 persons, and 7 were able to come out immediately when they saw the fire. And my last son came out a few minutes later, but he burns. Right now he's out of the hospital with his mom.
What is the degree of the wounds?
He got 1 person got injured. And so I'm grateful to God and to our neighbors who came to help us. We made an attempt to even call the fire service, but we were we were told, a neighbor of mine told me that from his call, the fire service said there are 3 problems. Number 1, they had no fuel. Number 2, the engine couldn't start, car engine couldn't start, and they had no water.
I mean, you just next door from the president's house. Are you saying, does that mean even if, God forbid, today the president's house got on fire, there's no fire service truck around here to intervene quickly?
Well, it's obvious that if the president's house had been gutted with fire, they will find me. I'm not the president. So it's so obvious that they will just ignore a call of a citizen who is in danger and in need of their help. But they say, whatever you can do, do it. And our taxpayer money is paying these guys every month, and yet they cannot show up when we need them most. So it's quite unfortunate.
Reverend, we heard your secretary speaking to us that you got information about some of these attacks since your election as the chairperson of the Opposition Unity Party. Have you been able to report the issue? Is it true that you guys got intelligence that people were telling you?
Well, obviously, if you are at the position where I am, of course, you have been the chairman of the Unity Party. I'm not surprised that people will be telling me. Even at my school campus, there was an invasion. Immediately after the convention in Wembley, the security was beating. They ran into the school, stole some things. But we come to try to settle it internally. And then people have been saying, well, there's some strange cars that come to my compound outside the gate. Even the other day, my wife saw some black cars just parking right in front of my gate. And so when my wife got there, they drove away. So I'm not surprised.
But did you report this incident to the police? I mean, of people telling you coming to strange people coming
Well, again, tell what police, okay, let's leave police, fire truck that should come and rescue me and my family, and they telling me no fuel.
No, I'm asking about the issue of you observing people telling you people coming to a strange car coming in front of your resident. Did you report it to the police?
Well, do we have serious-minded police in this country? Didn't the president tell us to get our own CCTVs? I mean, let's get serious with this country, all right? Let's be serious. Ordinary citizens are hurting. The government needs to set up and do a job. They took oath to protect all of us. But they can't be protecting citizens alone. When we are in dire need of government help, they should show up. And I'm so disappointed that several thousands of dollars just got in flame, and there was no response from anywhere. But I'm deeply grateful to God, first for my life and for saving my children. My son Nathaniel could have died in the fire. It would have been a different thing for me and my family this morning. And so I'm deeply grateful for the neighbors and all of our partisans and well-wishers from my church, from our office who came by to, stand with us in the midst of this time. But I'm grateful that no life was lost. But to find out that the government cannot help their citizens when the citizens need them is so much discouraging. And President Weah needs to sit up and lead this country. He needs to do that because he has a mandate from the Liberian people for 6 years. And if people are telling me because I'm a Unity partisan, I want to be very clear. Nobody's going to intimidate me. We're going to provide the leadership of our party. If they don't like it, it's their business. But we're going to do what we're supposed to do for our country. And I want to thank all of our well-wishers, party stalwarts who have come to, stand with me and my family in this time of disaster. We are deeply grateful to all of you.
All right, before I take leave of you, please, on Spawn TV, you made mention of the fact that you don't have serious-minded police in this country. You, as a chairperson of a major or the leading opposition party, the Unity Party, what are you going to put in place to make sure that your partisans and you yourself are being protected while you go out to do your normal business as a political party?
Well, the president said we should find CCTV for ourselves, right? We should take our own security. So from now henceforth, we're going to provide the security for ourselves. That's what we're going to do. We're going to follow the president's order.
Is that the next course of action?
Well, I have to do it because from all indication, as a chairman of my party, I know I've become a target. But by the grace of God, no one can take my life. They didn't give me my life. so they can take it away, but we'll protect ourselves.
Reverend, let me ask you, with all of this, are you suspecting foul play in this fire disaster? Are you suspecting foul play?
Well, I'm not an expert. I only explain to you what happened and where the fire started from. How does the fire start right in the garage and the car will be the first? The car was not on. It's not even a gasoline car. It's a diesel. And then they advanced into my living room and to the bedroom and gouged out everything. I'm only telling you what I know. So if the government was a very serious-minded, at this time knowing the position we hold, they could have sent someone to start the investigation. But who is here? Who do you see here? No one. It's just a clear indication that the citizens are on their own. The chairman of the United Party home has been coated by fire. What would a responsible government do? They'll send people here to verify. But you are the only journalist that are asking me what happened. So I'm not upset. I just want to say to the Liberian people, those of you who send messages of love, thank you for your prayers. Pray for my son Nathaniel that he will be okay. We're going to get over it. And I want to thank you all for stopping by to see us.
So we also have Representative Prince Yumani. He's one of the lawmakers who have come here this morning. So welcome to the media.
Guys, let me just move this one from here now and bring this one back here. So, key things I want us to understand here from the fire incident, and the reason I said earlier that why would the government come out and say the government denied that they had nothing to do with the arson attack? Why would they be making that kind of statement? Now, the chairman said his generator, all right, the generator he has, he uses as the source of energy, uses fuel oil. And I want you to pay attention to that. The generator uses fuel oil. A car uses fuel oil. We call that diesel oil. Diesel oil, I don't care how hot the day is. I don't care how many matches you strike. There is something we call flash point for every chemical. That flash point for diesel is 140 Fahrenheit. That's how long it is for it to catch on fire. For gasoline is even negative. It's not in low number. You know, like somebody telling you for a fuel oil to catch fire, it only take one matchstick. That means that number is low. The resistance number is low. For fuel oil, that number is large. It is a thick petroleum product that cannot easily catch on fire. So if that were used according to him in his generator, there's no way that generator will caught on, be on fire. It cannot catch fire. Now, if it's in his car, there will be no way for it to easily catch on fire. So what do we know from our layman understanding and from what we know about the flash point? Gasoline, it has minus 45. Minus 45. That means gasoline is quick to catch on fire. And you know that. Gas quick to explode because the flash point is not even 1, but it's all the way in negative. And that negative 45. And remember, negative 1 is bigger than negative 45. Even though it's 1, it got negative to it, is bigger than negative 45. So if the gasoline is negative 45, that means even cigarette scent, it possibly can catch a gas. It can get on a gas to catch fire. So if his car is not using gas, but fuel oil that we call diesel, if the generator is not using gas, but diesel. And for it to catch fire, it got to be all the way down, but it got 140 Fahrenheit. And the question is, how did his car get on fire? Somebody may have put something on a car that quit to catch fire. And if somebody did it, that's what we call arson. It is not an accidental fire. It's not like he said, oh, you know, I was cooking something, I forgot still carry me, and the next thing I know, the kitchen on fire, and then everybody started running away. No. It's not like he said, oh, you know what? I left the pressing iron plug, and the iron core burned. By the time I know, it catch the clothes, everything caught on fire. You follow me? So 3 major things did not happen in the house. But he said the fire started from in the garage. But what was in the garage? A car. And what would make a car explode? When you put gas somewhere, it will get oxygen, it will get a fuel, and then it will start to burn. So instead of the government coming out to tell you and me that we're going to investigate, instead of the fire marshal coming up with a press conference and say, you know what? We're sorry that the former chairman home got on fire. We don't know the detail of what caused this fire, and that's why we are here. We got fire investigator. We got arson investigator. We are going to be looking at every source of energy to the house, including where the fire started from. And we're going to piece together any information we can find to determine the cause of the fire. Did you hear them say that? No. But what did you hear the Minister of Information say? The government got nothing. No, they said the government did not arson attack. But why would you come out and say something like that? When fire can be caused by 3 major things in any home: cooking, heater material, or overheated material, and electrical malfunction. Nobody know what happened to the main house. By the day morning, you're coming and say, oh, we do no attack to the house. They may have done something that they know of. The government knows something. If they come up with that kind of statement, I will be asking them. Number one, you have not conducted any investigation. For the investigator to say, you know what, we believe that this incident was caused by an arson. And then when people say, oh, arson, yeah, okay, that bring the government. But nothing that has come out. Absolutely nothing. The fire brigade team, the fire marshal, or the fire inspector, nobody has gone to that place to conduct any investigation. We didn't see any yellow tape to secure the area. Nothing like that. We didn't see nothing. And then the government of Liberia says she denied any arson that people say they committed. Something is wrong. Something is wrong. But I will say this: they are beating young people who protest in the country. You saw the first image I showed you guys, how Jefferson Koji put a lot of young boy. Somebody just got newly elected to a political position. A house got on fire. Who next again? The fear that is in Liberia is not healthy for our country. All because this government is doing everything every day to create intimidation. If they're not beating people, they are beating and undressing a university student. If they are not putting fire on people's home, they are there saying other things. Who are those doing the thing? We don't know. But what we do know is the government does not come to the people aid at all. This man, according to people, he lived few blocks away from the president's house. For Jesus Christ's sake, man, lived few houses away from the president's house. So what will happen when Joe we all get on fire tonight? What will happen if Joe we all get on fire? In order the men living way to town. They say the men few blocks away. The men said the president hall right over there. And the man in the president district that he can even vote for the president. But nobody came to his aid. everything that man worked for. If you ask me, based on what the information that man have provided to you and myself, that his generator uses fuel oil diesel, that his car uses diesel, and then another thing I forgot about, the solar panel. I got solar panel over my house here right now. I got solar panel over my house here. For mine, it's connected to the electric grid. It's connected to the electric grid. That means if we don't get too much sunshine, then the electrical power will come in and supply energy. But the way we enjoy the summer now, my electric bill going down, down, because the solar cell is getting more energy from the sun. So my electric bill going down. Maybe during the winter time, when we get too much sun, then the electrical bill start going up high. I don't know whether the New Unity Party or God solar panel was connected to LEC. But what I did here, when they first asked him, he said, we don't have LEC here. LEC had never been coming on here. So even that means if his system was connected to the LEC grid, then we'll have to question that about maybe some 40 incident. But if that is so, then what owner is one? You follow me? But the solar panel itself, and you can do your own homework, the solar panel itself never got burned on anybody's house because it is built in a way that is extremely difficult for it to catch on fire. Those solar panels you see over the houses or you see at Walmart or on the street, it is not easy to catch on fire. They can resist. So with all the known factor, everything that we know now, we call it known factor. We know that the generator uses fuel oil. Fuel oil got a flash point of 140. It's not gasoline that got a flash point of minus 45. That means quick to catch fire. The car he said he drive or used to drive because it's no more, it also use diesel, which is fuel oil, and it cannot catch fire easily. A solar panel or a house, it cannot easily get burned. Last but not the least, when we look at the three things is in any home that catch fire quickly or cause fire. He did not tell us that he was cooking and went to bed. He did not tell us that he left some kind of maybe, that heater we used to put in the water, that way by heater. You put it in the water, you put it there for water to get hot. You never put up heater there for it to overheat or any metal that overheat to cause fire. And last but not the least, he did not plug any electrical wire to cause any malfunction. So with all those 6 major unknown factors we have, 3, that is the generator, the car, and his solar panel, and the 3 things that causes home to get on fire, that is cooking, heated material, and of course electrical mass, all 6 of them are not part of what we know from the main explanation. We can trust that information, but the government through the fire department or the fire brigade should have gone there to do their own investigation to determine the cause of the incident. And then when they finally come and say, you know what, the whole thing here was an arson. And then when they say this is an arson, and then the opposition starts to say, oh, CDC government did it. But none of those things that I just told you ever happened, folks. Then you have the Minister of Information coming up and saying, oh, the people who accuse him of, and who accusing them, but he said, we did not say. If somebody accuses you, you don't take their word for it. All you got to say, you know what? We don't know the cause of the fire because these are people who are not experts. It is not expert that's making those excuses. These are ordinary people, and you're going to tell them, you're going to take a word for it. They have experience like you. He should be coming out to say, you know what, the fire incident over there, we don't know the cause of the fire. We are not initiating any investigation. We are calling on the appropriate authority to begin an investigation to determine whether the fire was caused by the normal things that usually cause fire or whether it was done on purpose by somebody else. But until then, We don't know. Everything is unknown factor. But the government has created their own known factor. So they are part of our equation here. All right? So that's what made you guys bunch of good for nothing people, disgusting people, suckers, bunch of good for nothing people. The guy in the government or the incompetent George Weah and his people there, they are quite to incriminate themselves because they know they are guilty by association. They are guilty by their own plan, so they cannot keep it inside. They have to bring it outside to say crap to the people of Liberia. Yes, to say crap to the people of Liberia, because that's a complete nonsense that he said over there. And shame on him to make that kind of comment from the Minister of Information. Shame on him. Yes, shame on him. Shame on him all the way. Shame on him. Yes. All right, moving down the home here quickly here, guys. We don't have much time here. It's Friday night, right? We don't have much time here. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got. I know this is something that we've already seen before in the past, but let's just go over that quickly here. So this is Mr. Nathaniel Fagin. Nathaniel McGill. Listen to what he comes to can say. Yeah, these guys are crazy. All right, give it to us, McGill. Give it to us. Give it to us, McGill. Give it to us. Let's hear you, McGill. Give it to us. All right, ready? Let's go, McGill. Hit it.
You could have your phone take all the phone money. But even I've seen the money get a report of what because Ali has seen that carrying in Europe. So for the country, all government are in that's the money. But we tell them money, this number will go to our people that will be about that. Soon that fast. Can't be on carry Ghana, correct? But what can they get on me for? I will take it from you, Gary. Yeah, I'll leave it. Yes. The day God take me, I'll carry her with me. Our grandchildren will kind of see the ones there, but what can they looking for? They go book power on there. So these are the things we'll be doing. I just want to say thank you to for doing what he's doing.
Sorry, that my bad. My bad. That's me. Sorry.
One day will not be represented.
That's me. So let's bring my gate back. Let's bring my gate back. Let's bring my gate back. I know there was no sound. Let's bring my gate back. Let's bring my gate back.
You could have your phone take all the phone.
Let's see what we can hear here now.
No money, this number will go to our people that will be about that. Soon that fast. I can't be hard if one can do it fast. So I'm going to tell you money I carry Ghana, correct? Well, one can they get on me, huh? But even I've seen the money get a report of what because Ali has seen that carrying in Europe. So for in the country, all government are in eligible interest. That's the money. But we tell them money, this number will go to our people that will be about that. Soon that fast. I can't be hard if one can do it fast. So I'm going to tell you money I carry Ghana, correct? But one can they get on me for? I will take it from you, Gary. Yeah, I'll leave it. Yes. The day God take me, I will carry her with me. Our grandchildren will kind of see the ones there, but what can they looking for? They go book power on there. So these are the things we'll be doing. I just want to say thank you to for doing what he's doing. What is the young man doing? He's just doing part. One day will not be represented. But will not be represented. But will parents, you go to help you. Some people think, oh, the folks stealing the money. But even if I see the money, I get it like brand for that good thing I do. Because at least I'm not seeing that carrying it in Europe. Some people in the country, all government are in eligible interest. That's the money. But we tell no money, the small will get will go to our people there, go pay for the soon invest. I can't pay her in one country invest. So I'm going to tell the money I carry to Ghana, correct? But one country get it on a me, I will take it from you, Gary. And I'll leave it here. Yes. The day God take me, I will carry her with me. No. Our grandchildren will kind of see the ones there, but what kind of looking for? They go book power there. So these are the things we'll be doing. I just want to say thank you to Paul for doing what he's doing. What are the young men doing?
So that's Maggie there justifying corruption, guys. That's Maggie there justifying corruption. So that might. So he's there. He's justifying corruption, as you can see. That's why he does for living. That's why he does for living. And telling you that even if he steal, it doesn't matter because that stolen money he will use it to build houses, and in Bangabon County. While it is true that the statements sound to be true and sweet, it doesn't really represent ethical standards. That's why he wants you to understand. He don't want you to understand. That's wrong. He should be able to tell the people that this is what we're doing. We are working hard here for you guys. You imagine that McGill is supposed to be, in a part of the country, telling the people what his government has achieved. What have they achieved? Yes. What have they achieved? And but he's not saying those things. He's talking about corruption. It just go to tell you that this government of Joe Weah has failed. I will not lie to you. Mr. Weah has failed. There is nothing this man has done. Take a look at this thing here. All right. So this is George Weah right here. Everything on here, George Weah cannot tell you anything that he been successful at from 1 to 11. What is the trade deficit in the country? George Weah got no idea about it. Absolutely no idea. What do you see? You find sedition sending you little information about, the president doing the one, the president doing the one. The president is not organized. He got no clue about what he's doing. You ask the president right now about business investment. We will be looking at that report from the State Department. Business investment is not in Liberia. It is not in Liberia because you know why? The people are afraid to come to this country. One, because the institutions that are supposed to help them process their paper, the institutions are corrupt, the government officials are corrupt, and that's why they call the business climate from that report. The business climate in Liberia is so bad under this man here. It's so bad. People are corrupt. This man is not in control. He's not in charge of anything. That report is not you that give that report, not me. It is an independent investigation, interview, and you name it, research that were conducted by people that don't live in this. In fact, some of the people even went to Liberia to do business on a cover. I used to say they're investor, and they got to capture some of the evil, corrupt behavior that is in George Weah government. And that's why they came up with that business report. You got no clue. Now, when you look at healthcare, what do you know about healthcare? The health minister doing nothing in our country. Absolutely nothing. The healthcare is zero. People jumping through the window from JFK just because they want to live another day, but they end up dying because they are afraid to be held hostage for not being hospital built. The government cannot even come out with payment plan. In Ghana today, people go to the hospital. The Ghanaian government have come up with a new system where they can discharge you from the hospital and you start paying them small. They may not have any idea like that. Now, let's look at gas and food prices. Well, don't you know about gas and food prices in the country? Of course. When you ask Mr. Weah, how are you managing the gas and food prices? Who are those? Gas, food. How are you managing it? Isn't the one they call Yuri Coleman? She over there allegedly stealing gasoline from the people of Liberia at the LPRC. Then you got Food Prices, the one who spoke on the day of our independence, who said that you and myself, we just say America and criticize. We don't get no positive result for the government. What has she done when it comes to the issue of food prices in the country? Nothing. When it comes to wages, do you know how many people are unemployed and unemployed before you even talk about minimum wages? And then you talk about living wage? Nothing. Zero in our country. Absolutely zero. So as we go through all the list, folks, look at the list. There is nothing on the list that you can take a pen and say, Joe Wiaga, 70 in it. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. No report you see the condition in the country over there. Absolutely nothing. Why? Because he came up with a thing here called the Propo Agenda. We helped this man, supported the Propo Agenda here. But today, there is nothing on this thing that Mr. Weah has accomplished. Absolutely nothing, folks. We are measuring Weah's success, and I can guarantee you nothing. So all we do now is to go attack people who are not benefiting from the government, but they deserve that benefit to grow and to achieve some skills. But when they decide to first out their own opinion, it becomes so bitter for them. That's how embarrassing this thing is, ladies and gentlemen. And before we go, let me just close with this here, right? Let's just close with the beautiful one here, because I think at the end of the day, we need somebody who will give us hope. Yes. And it's nobody else but the CPP leader, Mr. Alexander Cummings. Let's listen to him, and then from there, we'll be packing our load, and we'll be back again tomorrow by God's grace. So, Mr. Cummings, the floor is yours.
Oldest republic in Africa. And yet, we're one of the least developed countries on the continent, and indeed one of the least developed countries in the world. And I say to you, my fellow Liberians, we deserve a better Liberia. We need to ask ourselves some fundamental questions. Why are we where we are? Most Liberian homes don't have electricity. Most Liberian homes don't have running water. Most Liberians are unemployed. These are things we can change. These are things we should demand of ourselves and of our leaders. We, as Liberians, cannot keep doing the same things and expect different results. We cannot keep electing and selecting the same kinds of leaders with the same kinds of experiences and expect Liberia to change. We have to do many things differently, and that starts with selecting and electing new leaders who know how to create jobs, who know how to grow the economy, who will prioritize the Liberian people first before they prioritize themselves. And this is what I offer you, the Liberian people. The other universal truth that I want to share with you, my fellow Liberians, is the best predictor of future performance and future behavior is past performance and past behavior. And again, I ask you to look at my record of job creation, of success, of managing large budgets without one penny going missing. All of these things you can look at and compare to the other candidates. And again, you will see that my past performance and past behavior is a good predictor, a good indicator that what I commit to, we will deliver. There are 5 priorities we have, and we call that the what's. And then there are 5 things we call the how we'll do it. And those priorities are as follows. Our first priority is infrastructure. Simply put, is electricity, its roads, its water, and its internet and cell phone connectivity across Liberia. We have to invest in infrastructure. That is the top priority. That's the basis on which we can and will do everything else. The second priority for us is job creation. There are too many unemployed, underemployed, and unemployable Liberians. The unemployment rate is over 85%. And therefore, job creation is our next priority, creating jobs for the Liberian people. Our next priority is agriculture. We are a country that do not fear ourselves. These are things we can do for ourselves. We should be producing rice to feed ourselves. And my commitment is that by the end of my first term in office, we will be self-sufficient in rice production. And within education, we are focused on vocational training, teachers training, and adult education. But we have to educate our young people because, again, that's how we can help them create jobs. That's how we can train farmers. And so these things are all linked together. And our final priority in terms of the what's is health. Because you can have good infrastructure, you can have a good job, you can feed yourself, you can have great education, but if you don't have your health, it doesn't matter. And so health is our fifth priority, and there we're focused on primary health care and preventive health care. So those are the what's we'll do for our people, for the Liberian people. How are we going to do these things? The first how is we want to engage Liberians differently in the transformation of our country. We call this hearts and minds. How do we get all Liberians to participate in the changes that are required? We're going to use arts and music and culture and reconciliation and religion. All of these things, we will be deliberate in using these things to engage us as a people in this transformation process. And so we're doing some work on how we can make those things happen. The next how is that we're going to find the money. We have to find the resources, the money, to do all of the what's I mentioned earlier. And the way we'll find the money is first, we'll go after waste in government. You know, we spend a lot of money on things that we don't need, or we pay too much for things that we do need. So for example, I believe the vehicles we buy for our government officials, we spend too much money on that. We should reduce the number of vehicles, and we should buy less expensive vehicles for our government officials. We need to reduce how much they make so we can pay teachers and civil servants and police officers and the military officers and healthcare workers, people who actually do the work. We need to pay them more money and reduce the gap between those at the top and those who actually do the work. The other way we'll find the money is going after this thing called corruption. You know, corruption has been the bane of our country. Is the primary reason why we are as underdeveloped as we are today. And we will aggressively go after corruption. The first thing we'll do is we will appoint a corruption czar, a minister in charge of corruption in the presidency that will coordinate all of the agencies that are meant to find corrupt officials. Secondly thing we'll do is we'll make sure we are giving the resources, the money, the right people, the right logistics to the anti-corruption agencies, the LACC, Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission, the General Accounting Office, the Public Procurement and Concessions Commission. We will make sure they got the right resources to go after corrupt officials. After that, when we find people who are corrupt, we will prosecute them, we will put them in jail, and we'll seize their assets. It will not be good enough for you just to resign. So those are the things we will do to really go after corruption. I have committed that I will not take a salary. The salary that is paid the president, I will allocate it towards helping to fight corruption. That's how important I think it is to us. And then the other way we'll find the money is we'll make sure we're getting full value, the full monies we're due from our natural resources. We'll look to exploit other natural resources so we can get the funds required to fund healthcare, to fund infrastructure, to create jobs, etc., etc. So finding the money is the second how. The next how is we want to create a government of inclusion. We want all sections of our country to be represented in the government. We want opposition political parties to be in government. Because we believe that having a government inclusion will help all of us make the right decisions. It will make sure that we're spreading the resources of our country across the entire country. And then the last two hows, one is growing the private sector. We will focus on growing the private sector so Liberians can primarily benefit from that growth. No longer should Liberian business people be spectators to our economy. And we want to actively support Liberianization and encourage and provide credit and other facilities to Liberian businesses so they can participate. And last but not least, we will use technology. We'll leverage technology to help us achieve our goals. So those are the what's and the how's. But let me end by leaving you again with these two universal truths. One is we cannot keep doing the same things, my people, and expect different results. We cannot keep electing the same people with the same experiences and expect Liberia to change. We need to elect and select different people to lead us, to serve us, to help us manage and run our country. And the other universal truth is the best predictor of future performance and future behavior is past performance and past behavior. And on those two counts, I believe I stand head and shoulders above the other candidates expiring. Together, we will change Liberia for the benefit of all Liberians. We will transform our country. We will give us a new start, a fresh start, so that all of us can benefit from this country we love. I thank you. God bless you. God bless the Republic of Liberia.
Tonight, I'd like to say a big thank you for your time. I appreciate you guys here for taking all your time here to join me here today. And I would like to say thank you, thank you, thank you. We had a successful week. We started since Monday. We've been live on the radio in Monrovia, in Nimba, in Zozo, by Gibi, and we just ended again another week. And we are also concluding our show here online as well. So we continue to ask God for more strength, more energy, and more power to continue to be out here. Before I go, let me read this guy's statement here. All right. So this guy said, Prince M. Montgomery, he said, how can you reduce the salary and other benefits of lawmakers? All right. When they are the one who decide what they get. While it is true that your statement makes sense, it doesn't mean that it cannot be done. It can be done. And you know how it can be done? When Mr. Cummings, according to you, made such a comment, he's hoping that he will have more lawmakers that will come to the House and will fully understand that they are representing the people and they should do everything to represent the people. It happened right in America here. When Obama tried to appoint one of the Chief Justice, the Republican, Mitch McConnell, who were in charge, he said no. Why? Because at that time, the Democrats were in minority, but the Republicans were in majority. So they delay and delay and delay Obama Associate Justice to the Supreme Court until Mr. Trump came, and I think Trump appointed almost 3 Supreme Court justices. So when Mr. Cummings is making such a remark, you got to loosen up your mind. Loosen up your mind that if it works, it is not a science to say that all lawmakers will remain the same. No. The very lawmaker that decide their own salary, it's possible that another set of lawmaker can come and say, what our colleagues have done in the past, it has been wrong, it is wrong, and we can change things. And the way he does it, he put forward those things that he just explained, and the people of Liberia start to reap the benefit. They will listen to him, and they will start to say, you know what, we need lawmakers that will be just like this man. This is what we call experience versus just the regular people, all right? When you have a basic cable, you don't have the advanced cable, you don't have the premier cable, you don't understand how things work. So, Mr. Montgomery, Prince Montgomery, that is something that I thought to leave with you guys today, all right? So until then, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for the opportunity. J. Randy is out. We will see you guys tomorrow by God's grace. All right? We'll see you guys tomorrow by God's grace. I think what the CDC supposed to need to be doing now, you need to be answering this question. You need to be answering the question here from your incompetent leader. What it meant me by constitutional amendment, all right? The lawmaker that will agree, all right? The lawmaker that will agree to pass the law will be the same people that will be taught. So don't come here and say whatever constitutional amendment. The same people who increase their salary, when you bring the people of the same mindset, they will do the same thing. But when you bring the people of the different mindset, they will change things around. Prince, I'm not here to lecture you. I think you need to start watching the other video from the past to understand. I don't know how I should explain it to you. They got good people and they got bad people. When they come and bring the good people in, they will change every bad thing for the good. I hope that way is something that you will understand, but I cannot help you. There's something wrong with the folks from Minnesota. Not every one of them, but there's something wrong with them. All right. Until then, I see you guys. God bless you guys, and have a good day, good week, and we'll be back here. Thank you very much, Mr. Yango. It was a pleasure having you here. Thank you very much. And please share the video.